Finnish band H.I.M is set to release something special this Christmas for its die-hard fans. Lashes to Ashes, Lost to Dust, a vinyl retrospective 9603 is set to be released via online and physical retailers on December 23rd. It's a collection of all 4 of the group's early albums: Greatest Love Songs Volume 666, Razor Blade Romance, Deep Shadows and Brilliant Highlights, and Love Metal. It will also include a vinyl version of the rare debut 1996 EP 666 Ways to Love, Prologue, on 180-gram heavyweight vinyl. The albums have been remastered. We asked singer Ville Valo what his recollections were at the time of the recording the Prologue EP.
That was kind of like a test for the record company to see if anybody was into our band, and it had our first version of Chris Isaak's Wicked Game. That got some radio airplay, and that was the reason why we had the opportunity then to go on and record our debut album. The first EP, we were a totally different band. We didn't have keyboards then, and we recorded in like a really, really crappy demo studio, and for no money at all. And it's got my mum on the cover for some odd reason. We're trying to get some cool satanic artwork, but then we couldn't get the copyright sorted out, so I just found this cool picture of my mum from the 60s, and then we thought that was really spooky and kind of kooky as well to have your mum on the cover of an album.
So what were some of his thoughts of the recordings, going over them and remastering them?
I don't think there's anything wrong with the albums per se, but obviously the first one was done, well, the EP was 96, so the first almost 97, and then it was like, what, 2000, I can't even remember when it was. No, 99 we recorded Razor Blade Romance, so that was a long time ago, and that was when the, whatever you want to call it, loudness wars, or whatever started happening, so people started to master everything so loud that a rock album started lacking dynamics. The best examples being, like, was it Death Magnetic by Metallica? That's really, it's loud as F, it's terribly loud, but it doesn't breathe. Super compressed and limited, and that's probably what they went for, and it does sound aggressive, but at least in my ears it wears them out easy. So we kind of like, we were spared for some of that stuff because we did some of the albums before, but now so it was kind of like fine line. Now we're coming back from the loudness wars, and then we had stuff that was done before the loudness wars, so we were, long story short, we were able to, yes, tweak them. So they, to my ears, they sound more fresh and more in your face, but still, having all the essential. We had to be at the same time kind of careful with it, because we had like Sterling Sound here in New York City. George Marino did a few. He was a legendary mastering engineer. He did a few masters for us in the past, and before he passed away, and so we didn't want to mess about with those too much, because, and also, if for example, Black Sabbath is a great example. When they did the remasters in the 80s for the first time on CD, they sound terrible, because they all of a sudden thought that, they have to find the 80s kind of Phil Collins and clank and clank, the top end stuff from the 70s masters, and it doesn't work like that, so you have to be faithful and truthful and honor the original, but while doing so, just like, there's no rules. So that was the exciting part. We were working with Sterling Sound again, and Justin, the guy who did it, did an amazing job. So, it was way easier than I thought.
What is his favorite rarity available on the collections?
I like all the demos for the album Love Metal, because we just really hit our stride as a band. We had a blast at the studio. They sound great, and they're really like in your face, and a lot of people like them more. Our friends like them more than the actual album. Even though the album's a hard-hitting one too, but they're kind of like over the top, and it always makes me smile, makes me happy.
Each of the albums will be released in other configurations, including a 2-CD deluxe classic 140-gram vinyl and special colored vinyl tailored for each of the albums. These special edition releases are being delivered by the N Records, and pre-orders are being taken now. Tune back, as we'll have special stories about where H.I.M was at during the original recording of each of the releases.